Very good evening, friends. This side Rahul Magan here is a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. Standing today on 23rd November 2020, I am going to be covering a very hot video about a topic which is the probable banking licenses in India. But before I start, I love to share my feedback that many people think that getting a banking license is like order pizza from Pizza Hut or Domino's. Many people feel that way. The kind of hype I have seen today, and I will not name that NBFC, by the way, you guessed that. The kind of hype I saw, it looked like that probably in another 10-15 days, few selected NBFCs might be 2 times of what they are today. But before I conclude or before I start, the story started when the Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank of India made a statement that non-banking financial corporation with an asset size of over more than 50,000 crores should be converted as a bank. Another leg which is added in this dimension is they should have covered 10 years of operations. How come 10 years? Maybe. And I think people forget it that the non-banking financial corporations like Diwan Housing and many, what had happened to them? We all understand. Market also forget it or deliberately trying to forget what had happened with Lakshmi Vilas Bank. While reading newspapers and articles, I got to know that rating agencies applauded this act. Open Google and check effective 2008 how many times rating agencies being asked by the regulators to pay fine. Rather, there is a very good movie we have in Hollywood. In this movie, the rating agency person himself acknowledged that if we do this, then the business will go to our competitors. And this is Hollywood movie, by the way, not a Bollywood movie, whereby one hero will jump from 58th floor and he reached to the ground like this. This is how. So, whatever comes, rating agencies have to applaud that. Very simple. And by the way, how many times rating agency warned the investors in Diwan Housing, Satyam, Yes Bank, PMC and all? Tough question. I think this question should be added in Kaun Banega Crorepati. And Mr. Bachchan should ask this question. I'm sure even Mr. Bachchan will not have an answer to this question. Forget the candidate, So let's have a data. The front runners who may or might not get banking license: Tata Capital with the asset size of 78,000 crores, M&M Financial asset size of 78,000 crores, India Bulls is around 95,000 crores, L&T Housing Finance is around 1,09,000 crores, Shriram Transport is around 1,13,000 crore, Bajaj Finance 1,62,000 crores, Rural Electricity Corporation is around 3,22,000 crore, Power Finance Corporation 6,63,000 crores, while Muthoot Finance is just 53,000 crore and Cholamandalam is 65,000 crores. Aditya Birla Capital is around 70,000 crores. In all the names, there are 2 names whereby share price will never fall, whatever happened. Anyways, I would like to have a paragraph before I go ahead with my way. Somebody mentioned that I do not see universal bank licenses as an answer to everything. We do not want entities called NBFCs becoming too large because, from a liability perspective, they are dependent upon wholesale liability. And one disaster like Diwan housing could make people nervous, said the head of non-banking leader who declined to identify. Regulation alone may not prevent a collapse in the lending business, he said. My argument is that if you can still have a failure like Lakshmi Vilas Bank, a highly regulated entity, despite all necessary checks and balances, how does converting NBFC into banks help? I am cent by cent in agreement with him. And more importantly, one thing which he really not mentioned is that the circular reference. This is first part of this topic. The second part would be on board where I explain the circular reference. Try and understand, guys. What is circular reference and how would you resolve the problem of circular reference? There are two depositors in India, Ramlal and Shamlal. By the way, this is a hypothetical example. So if in a real circumstances they turn out to be depositor, just a hypothetical example. There are two depositors in India, Ramlal and Shamlal, and one company, Deepak Fertilizers Limited. Ramlal and Shamlal together deposited 1 lakh rupees in bank. Okay, while Deepak Fertilizer Limited invested 50,000 rupees in NBFC. Okay, out of 1 lakh which is invested by Ramlal and Shamlal, 50,000 will go to a NBFC. The name of NBFC is NBFC XYZ Limited. 50,000 which being invested by Deepak Fertilizer, out of which 25,000 goes to NBFC, which means that the total funding is 50 plus 25, the total 75,000 goes to NBFC. Out of 75,000, the majority of the NBFC funding is currently in the real estate sector or in the big corporates. And before I give you numbers, you need to hold on. This is called circular reference. If the corporates themselves turn out to be a bank, then it is like a situation whereby there is a line of control and there are two security forces, country X and country Y, on the either side of the line of control, protecting their nation boundaries. It is like that country X soldier is saying to country Y, you have a look at my my line, I will come after 2 hours. It's like that. And let me demonstrate with the data. As at March 2018, I'm sorry, data is always a problem. So we have data only at March 2018, but we understand that several sources claim that as of basically in 2020, the total NPA is more than 13 lakh crores. As of March 2018, the total NPA is around 9.62 trillion. By the way, this is only of banks. What about NBFC? We don't know. 9.62 trillion means 9,62,000 crores. Out of which industry is around 7 lakh trillion. Agriculture is around 85,000 crores. Services is around 1.23 trillion. And retail is around 38,000 crores. So industry accounted for around 73% of the total NPA of the banks. And we want same industry to be bank. You got my point? Before I quit, let me repeat the names. Tata Capital, M&M Financial Service, Indiabulls, L&T, Shriram Transport, Bajaj Finance, REC, Power Financial Corporation, Power Finance Corporation, Muthoot Finance, Cholamandalam, Aditya Birla Capital. Our hedge fund already taken position in 3. And not after RBI circular, rather 15 days before RBI circular. And today, out of these names which I quoted, by the way, it comes from media, we have categorized 2 as PCS, which is post-COVID stocks. What is the definition of PCS? Very good. The definition of the post-COVID stock is the stocks who are somehow bettered because of COVID. But once the vaccine is around us, we would be in a very nicest situation to see a double-digit return in these stocks, maybe triple-digit. Out of the names which I quoted, I see that there are 3 names, at least 2 names who are PCS, post-COVID stocks. And out of these names, we have already taken position in 3. That's very important. I'm not against the idea of converting them into a bank. You are most welcome to convert into bank or not. I really do not have any problem. But the issue is that if that exercise create a circular reference into the system, then it would be the most disastrous for any economy of the globe, even if it is US. And I'm sure that 99.99% of the people who wrote this article, or maybe later stages, as and when this article will come in public domain, they really do not know what exactly is financial circular reference to be created if this would get act. That's very important. This is Rahul from Treasury Consulting. You know our WhatsApp 9818485155. Treasury Consulting look each and everything from a different angle. We will never look the things the way media present is. Because the problem is the people, those who sits in media, they themselves do not know what they are writing. And after watching this video, just wait for our second video when we are going to be explaining on board what do you mean by financial circular reference if this exercise will hold true. Have a great time.